So yesterday, the Nigerian social media space had been on fire with VeryDarkBlackMan, the Honest Bunch, especially Nedu, and some other characters. So all of this stemmed from the podcast. That's the episode of the Honest Bunch that was just put out. And on the podcast, well, I've not had the chance to watch the whole podcast because I've been busy. I was contracted to shoot an interview for a client, and I had been over the weekend, and I had been working, editing, and doing all sorts. So I just got feelers from everything I saw online, from from what VDM said and the little I saw of the podcast. So let me start from here. The first issue, I think the whole issue that brought this up was because it was D1 that was on the podcast, D1 and one other person, but D1 was the one that whipped up all these issues. D1 claimed or said that VeryDarkBlackMan does men.
Very dark man in the do man. What is I know the I will come out here. What is you don't know?
I don't know.
Husband.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, this one new to me.
You don't know.
I don't know.
Say in the two men. You don't know. Say VDM, they do man, you don't know.
You know, he was so happy to say it on there that VeryDarkBlackMan does men. Don't you guys know? Blah, 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 and stuff like that. And, you know, the innuendos and the questions from the Honest Bunch crew, kind of like looked as if, they led him on and stuff like that. So first things first, I would like us to determine who is a gay. Who you can call or can be called a gay. So I would like to read this to everyone because I searched this online and this is what I got. Sexual orientation is complex and can't be solely defined by a single action of experience. A person's sexual orientation is typically determined by their emotional, romantic, and sexual attractions and experiences over time. Engaging in a single same-sex encounter, especially for financial reasons, doesn't necessarily mean someone is gay. In this scenario, the man in question might identify as straight, bisexual, heteroflexible, sexually fluid. It's essential to remember that sexual orientation is a personal and complex aspect of identity. People's experiences and attractions can vary widely. Labels and identities should be self-determined. Self-determined means nobody can tell me my sexual orientation except myself, because I'm the one that knows how I feel about the opposite sex or the same sex. So that's that. Ultimately, only an individual in question can determine how they identify and what their sexual orientation is. So that was what I got from the internet as per who a gay person is, or what you can use in determining who is gay. So that person must come out to tell you or show it that he is gay. And a single act does not determine that someone is gay, or not, because different circumstances could lead to, one doing something just once. For example, like if somebody approaches a prostitute, have something to do with a prostitute, you can't call that prostitute that person's girlfriend because they had sex. And also, you can't say because that person patronized that prostitute just once, or all prostitutes just once. He did it just once. You can't say the person, that's his habit or his character, that he patronizes prostitutes. He did it just once. And so you can put that into play with other scenarios, with other situations and stuff like that. And also, that person must have emotional connections or attachments or attractions to the sex that will determine which label is put on him. So coming to what transpired, what happened, I want to quickly say this, because a lot of people were saying, why didn't VeryDarkBlackMan attack D1 instead? Why is he attacking Nedu, who is just on the podcast and stuff like that? I think I have an answer to that. For me, I think VeryDarkBlackMan sees D1 as an opportunist, somebody who wants to use, something to trend, to gain something or the other, an opportunist, looking to use his name to gain traction, to trend. So he doesn't really want to give him that chance or that opportunity. But he and Nedu, that's Very Dark Black Man and Nedu, have history. You know, that something had happened between them, and Nedu has a big platform. You know, the honest bunch, you can call them, you know, a bunch, but we all know Nedu actually is the main man in that podcast. So I feel he feels Nedu, he can actually talk, you know, to Nedu, and they can have a good exchange, or they can have a good banter or something like that, you know, and because of the history they've had. So that's that for that. I also want to talk about some of the things Very Dark Black Man, you know, made mention of, and, you know, on all his videos yesterday. You know, the major one is about how Nedu, you know, uses girls to, you know, before giving them a spot or a space on his show or stuff like that. You know, then after Very Dark Black Man said that, one girl, King Michi, she put out a comment. You can see the comment on the screen. She put out a comment about Nedu doing the same thing to her, asking her to sleep with him, for her to, you know, to be put on, and yeah, and when she refused, that she will never make it in the, you know, skit or social media or content creation industry. In another video also, VDM also puts a picture of one young lady. I think her name is her handle is Jojo of Lele. Yeah, I think it's something like that. And talked about that it was Nedu that even told him that, you know, he has slept with her and, you know, he uses her for this and that. You know, so I just want to quickly touch on that. It's on helping people and, you know, putting people on. And for it not to be most times, for it not to be for immediate gratification. Because sometimes when you put people on, it could, you know, give you a greater thing in the future. It could yield to a greater thing, a greater gratification in the future. I want to just give a personal experience, because I was colleagues with the two main guys, that is Nedu and Husband Material. We were colleagues back then at AIM Group. You know, AIM Group is the owners of Wazobia Radio, Cool FM, Niger FM, Wazobia TV, Cool TV. They also have an ISP, that's internet service provider called Cool Link. Then restaurants, Cafe Royale, Chocolate Royale, Metis, and the rest. You know, and they also have a engineering construction company, blah blah blah. And we're all, you know, on Etim Iang, the same, you know, company, the same compound on Etim Iang Crescent on Victoria Island. We're colleagues for like 5 years or more. We worked together. Nedu was in radio, I was in TV. Husband Material was in TV. So there was this time I had this NGO back in Kogi State, you know, and Kogi Leadership Forum, and wanted to do something, wanted to put out, you know, a message, you know, and something like that in form of a skit or to talk about something, you know. So I approached, because I see Nedu, we talk, you know, we are cool. See me, hey, Baba, what's up? Hey, Nedu, what's up? You know, sometimes we just chat, you know, a bit and stuff like that. But Husband Material, I was very, very cool with, because we were in television, and sometimes he will come to our office, we'll talk about politics, talk about football and all that. So, you know, so this particular time I wanted to do something for my NGO. You know, I talked to Nedu about it, about help me do something like this, blah blah. He said okay, you know, he posted, and, you know, he didn't really put me on, you know. So I because then they were working together, Nedu and Husband Material, they were always doing Malam Musa, Moga Landlord and the rest. Like on 2 or 3 occasions or so, I asked Husband Material, how far now you see Nedu? Because sometimes I'll call him and he'll say, he would see me, or he's doing something, he's busy, blah, blah, blah. So Husband Material was like, why are you always acting up? Nedu, what's up? I said, I just want him to help me do something, you know. I explained to Husband Material. He was like, you know, Nedu is busy now. Why not? I can do it for you now. Myself and Bash, we can do it for you now. It's nothing now. Why? So we took cameras, and they did it for me on the spot, right there. No, you know, he did it for me. So those are two contrasting, you know, scenarios with two people. You know, I tried to get this thing from one person who didn't really put me on, and another person on the go. He did it, blah, blah, blah. He did it, and it was done. I posted it. I'll even show you here.
Guy, you don't hear of Kogi Leadership Forum?
Baba, what's about this forum where they create? Now to chop money, don't they feel about?
No. Kogi Leadership Forum, they different. This one, an organization where we say, if you check what they stand for, the thing make better sense. See, they want awaken Kogi State through innovative ideas. They will also educate and empower Kogi people, especially the youth. You know, say for Nigeria population, now youth plenty pass. And we will be youth. If we make mistake today, now we go suffer for future. If we do well today, now we go enjoy for future. Now we think Kogi leadership program be about.
I will see you later.
You want to go collect registration form?
Now, how many years after, maybe 8 or 9 years later, I'm talking about it. I'm talking about how husband material put me on at that time, and how Nedu, maybe he was busy and stuff, but could not really put me on. You know, I don't know. Maybe he was busy. Maybe he didn't want to do it. I don't know. But immediately I told husband material on the spot. He quickly put me on, brought some ideas. I can do it with Bash. Let's do it this way. Let's go outside. Blah blah. Let's talk about it this way. You know, he put me on, and going forward, if anything brings that issue up, I will talk about it because he put me on. He did this thing for me because he felt, you know, there's nothing to it. You know, so sometimes, you know, helping people goes a long way and goes far, far more than when you seek immediate gratification. Immediate gratification, you can get it immediately and it might not really worth anything. Maybe, who knows, maybe tomorrow I might become the president of Nigeria. And guess what? You know, because at one certain time or the other, husband material has put me on and done this for me. I could just say, okay, husband material is good in this and that. You know, opportunities come, I'll put him on too. That is how life works. That is how things work. And that is how, you know, people get put on and they remember them for what they have done, either good or bad. And I also feel VeryDarkBlackMan is coming at Nedu because that platform, the Honest Bunch, is controlled by Nedu, majorly Nedu, but husband material also, but majorly Nedu. So anything that is said on that platform, anything that is released to the public, Nedu must have given it a pass for it to go on air. You know, because I don't think anybody will come on there and say rubbish to the governor of Lagos State or the president or any other very, very influential person, and Nedu will allow it. I don't think so. You know, so I think that is one of the big reasons why VeryDarkBlackMan is coming at Nedu, you know, because he feels, okay, because of the history we have, Nedu allowed this, Nedu influenced it, Nedu might have, you know, reached out to this guy to come and soil me, to come and soil my name, to come and attack me and stuff that Nedu allowed all these things to happen. So that's what I feel, and that's my take. Till I come your way next time, please like, share, follow, and do drop your comments. Doing all this will definitely help make the channel grow. See you all next time. Bye-bye.
Silva Squad Channel.